Welcome to Sports Zone 247, your ultimate source for all things football. Stay up to date with the latest football news. Match highlights, transfer rumors, player updates, and in-depth analysis from top leagues around the world. Our first news is Man City stunned by Brighton's late show as Pep Guardiola endures nightmare start. Brighton 2-1 Manchester City. Pep Guardiola's side have been beaten for the second time in the opening 3 Premier League games as Brighton's late winner saw them overcome a half-time deficit. Brian Gruda rolled home a dramatic late winner as Brighton roared back to stun Manchester City with a thrilling 2-1 victory at the Amex Stadium. Seagulls midfielder Gruda raced clear to calmly finish in the 89th minute after fellow substitute James Milner became the second oldest scorer in Premier League history by converting a penalty against his former club. Erling Haaland stabbed City into a first-half lead on his 100th English top-flight appearance but also failed to capitalize on a host of other openings. Defeat for Pep Guardiola's side was a second in succession following last weekend's deflating 2-0 home loss to Tottenham, with Albion jubilantly celebrating a first league victory of the campaign. Rodri made his first league start in almost a year as part of 4 alterations to the City team which began against Spurs, while Brighton made 3 changes from last Sunday's 2-0 reverse at Everton. Guardiola's men had the better of a tight first-half tactical battle, with Haaland initially squandering a hat-trick of chances. The Norway international fired tamely at Seagulls goalkeeper Bart Verbruggen inside 9 minutes before dragging another opportunity wide of the right post and then seeing a close-range header pushed away. Between the first and second of those openings, a low shot from Albion winger Kaoru Mitoma was turned behind by City keeper James Trafford. Haaland eventually found his range 11 minutes before the break. After Yankuba Minte was dispossessed by Ryan Aït-Nouri and Oscar Bob drove towards Brighton's 18-yard box, Omar Marmush bundled his way past Jan-Paul van Hecke and poked through the legs of Lewis Dunk for Haaland to clinically lift the ball over Verbruggen. Brighton were offering little from an attacking perspective and could have fallen further behind with an hour played when the lively Bob threatened to divert home Marmush's low cross from left. Albion head coach Fabian Hürzeler responded by making a quadruple substitution, including introducing Milner and Gruda, which sparked an instant shift in momentum. Trafford turned over from Minte before referee Darren England pointed to the spot after Dunk's powerful volley across goal from Yassine Ayari's free kick struck the raised arm of Matheus Nunes. Aged 39 years and 239 days, Milner became Brighton's 3rd penalty taker in as many games and emphatically dispatched his maiden goal for the club into the bottom left corner in the 67th minute. Our second news is Arsenal transfer news. Gunners agree £45 million deal as 4 exits in the balance. Arsenal have got most of their summer transfer business done long before deadline day, but there are still a few loose ends for Mikel Arteta and the Gunners to tie up. With less than 48 hours of the transfer window remaining, Arsenal are likely to be less busy than most of their rivals. The Gunners have spent big and spent early, and been rewarded with a fast start to the campaign. After winning 1-0 at Old Trafford in their opening match, Mikel Arteta's side ran riot against Leeds in their first home fixture. Victor Gyökeres scored his first 2 Premier League goals against the Whites, while new arrival Ebre Eze was presented before kick-off. The Gunners face another big test on Sunday, travelling to Anfield to face Liverpool. The reigning league champions also have maximum points from their 2 games, though they have looked vulnerable at the back. Eze is expected to make his debut in the match, and could even start with Bukayo Saka ruled out through injury. Martin Odegaard joined Saka in being forced off against Leeds, but he could be available to feature. There will still be time for at least one new signing before the window shuts on Monday. We've got more on that in Mirror Football's latest lines from around North London. Hincapie agreement reached. Arsenal have agreed a deal to sign Piero Hincapie from Bayer Leverkusen. The Ecuador international will join on a season-long loan, with an option to make the deal permanent for £45 million next summer. Hincapie will become the second defender to join the club this summer after Christian Mosquera. He was a regular at centre-back under former Leverkusen boss Xabi Alonso but also featured at left-back on occasions when the German side used a back 4. The South American is just the latest in a long line of senior exits after manager Alonso left for Real Madrid. Jeremy Frimpong and Florian Wirtz both moved to Liverpool, while long-serving centre-back Jonathan Tah moved to Bayern Munich. Martinelli going nowhere. Gabriel Martinelli will not be leaving Arsenal this summer. There had been questions over the Brazilian's future after a busy summer, but Mikel Arteta has made his feelings clear. No, and I think Gabi's been a super important player for us and he's going to remain very, very, very important, Arteta said when asked about the prospect of the forward leaving. The fact that we have options with different qualities is going to fulfill what we want because every opponent is going to require different things. When asked if he was worried about keeping players happy, he added, "Worry? No, I think the word is that I care that everybody is as happy as they possibly can be. That's a big part of my job, our job at the end, to make sure that every player feels that he's fulfilling his potential." Our last news is Man Utd's goalkeeper plan, Chelsea's Jackson issue, Liverpool, Arsenal and Isak latest. Transfer deadline day is on the horizon and Arsenal, Manchester United, Chelsea and Liverpool could all still be busy in the final hours of the window with a number of deals to complete. It's the penultimate day of the transfer window and there's no shortage of work to complete for clubs around the world. There is little over 24 hours to get deals over the line before the opportunity disappears until January. There remain big names who could be on the move with work in the Premier League far from over. It remains to be seen whether Liverpool break the transfer record once again to land Alexander Isak, after Newcastle signed Nick Woltmade from Stuttgart. Arsenal look set to get another deal over the line with Piero Hincapié set to become the Gunners' 8th signing of the summer. The Ecuador star is set to initially join on loan before completing a £45 million move. Nicholas Jackson's name could yet dominate the final hours too. The Chelsea star was set to join Bayern Munich before the Blues cancelled the move and the striker is not happy, though he could still leave if Chelsea find another new face. Exits appear on the agenda for Manchester United however with Rasmus Højlund seemingly set for a move to Napoli on loan. Real Betis have withdrawn their offer for Antony however, while the Red Devils are desperate to keep hold of Wantway midfielder Kobbie Mainoo. United could make more new additions too, especially in goal. There are two names in the mix for the position, Emi Martinez and Sen Lamens, with United needing to make a decision. Jackson could still leave Chelsea. Chelsea no longer want to sanction Nicholas Jackson's loan move to Bayern Munich, angering the striker, but that could change if the Germans vow to buy the striker. Jackson was poised to join Bayern on loan before Liam Delap's injury saw them pull the plug on the deal. However, if the German giants were prepared to offer an obligation to buy or a permanent deal then Chelsea would consider, but they would need to bring in another striker, and time is not on their side, claims Sky Sports. Bayern make Lookman approach. Bayern Munich are exploring a late move for Atlanta's Ademola Lookman. The move would be an initial loan, according to The Athletic, with an option to make the move permanent. Lookman, 27, hasn't been in the squad for Atlanta's first 2 games of the season. Marseille in Emerson agreement. Emerson is set to leave West Ham for Marseille in a cut-price deal. Emerson has been sidelined in East London this season, with El Hadji Malik Diouf brought in as the Hammers' new first-choice left-back. If you love football transfer updates, league news, and all things soccer, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Let's stay connected and keep up with the latest from the world of football together.